Okay. All right, everyone. I think I'm live. Looks like there's some people here. If you guys can give me a little bit of feedback, please. I got my new setup isn't completely done, but I got my monitor and my standing desk. The only thing I'm missing is my actual PC. So things. Oh, you're on that screen? Not supposed to be on that screen. Supposed to be on this other screen. Okay, doesn't look quite right. I'll put you on Thinkorswim. Here you go. Morning, Rob. Morning, Mohammed. Yeah, I'm standing this morning. And like I said, excuse me if I am lagging and sideways. If you guys go to random in the Slack chat room, I posted a few pictures of what I'm doing with the setup here. You know, I actually wonder if I could get... Anyway, let's talk about the market for a second. Like I said, I'm still loosely playing. I was playing with the general windows, not stocks this morning. Market up 3% this morning. I can't say I was necessarily expecting a gap up like that, but that's a pretty good gap up for the NASDAQ, 3%. Restoration Hardware is up 7, 8%. AMC, 21%. They're picking up retailers today, it looks like. There's AMC, which is still super beaten down. Pretty high quality theater. Pretty sure they have one where you are. I kind of like mine. So hold on a second here, guys. I'm trying to set some things up. But the NASDAQ's on fire. And trying to get you guys on screen here. You guys are live experimenting right now. Holy crap, AMC just jumped right there. Another 8%. Or whatever that was. That was a big jump for AMC. Save. Let's walk down here. Hopefully we're not too laggy. This laptop's been screaming the past couple of days. I can't even see chat. I got so much going on here. There we go. Kind of. Rob Mohammed. Big gap again. Yesterday was wild. It never pulled back. Oh, yeah. Speaking of yesterday. Oh, my goodness, guys. We unfortunately didn't really have the time in the market. But during the Real Crypto Power Hour, which is starts at 9, which is like 11 or 12. Dude. Here, you know what? I'll show it on the... Damn it. I need to give you guys just a portion of my screen so I can move shit around. I've got my 4K monitor up, and this thing is insane. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Still getting things a little... Had it going last night, but I didn't do a stream like this, so it's proving to be not the same. Anyway, my general point is that the tight action in this day, you see that action? This is intraday. This is unlike anything we've seen since kind of the collapse. So let me show you what I'm talking about. If I can, I was trying to get this Chrome window on the screen earlier and it wouldn't let me. Yeah, it's not letting me put that Chrome window on the screen for some reason. I will go back to Thinkorswim. All right, I'll just blow this screen up instead. So check this out. May have to omit after hours sessions. Eli or Ellie, I'm trying to remember Ellie. I'm standing today on my desk. I could still lift my monitor up a little bit more. Where does it say show after hours? Futures. This is NASDAQ. It's still showing them. Okay. Oh, this is not futures. That's why. Yeah, I got it on Slack. I'll do one right now too. Actually, because I don't think I've done it with the monitors. I don't think. The only thing I'm missing here is the desktop. But I'll do. I'll send two pictures. I'll send one of just a step back from where I'm standing, and then actually, you know what I can do? I can probably just show my whole desktop with you guys so you can get the general picture. But I did. This is really what I wanted to show you guys here. I think this is the main crux of what I was saying earlier. So I don't think here's. Oh, is that the top? Okay, so that's the top in the cues right there. And look at how wide and choppy these ranges are. You don't have to look at each bar, but just get the general feel for it. Wide and choppy, wide and choppy, wide and choppy, wide and choppy. Take a leg lower. Gap higher. We're still pretty choppy. And then we start quieting down after the gap a little bit. We get wide and loose, wide and loose, wide and loose. And then we start really narrowing down. And now look how narrow yesterday was. The day before was pretty narrow. The day before that had this big undulation in the middle of the day. And then yesterday, looking a little bit like this day, very, very tight action, much more normal action for indexes. So even though we gapped up 3% and we did, run up towards the end of the day, it was a pretty epic day yesterday. It was still very, very tight price action pretty much all day long versus you look at all of this and you only have maybe one area of tight price action. This was crazy. This was crazy. This was all over the place. This very tight, a little tight here, areas of tightness, but this is generally tight. So a little bit of a change in behavior for stocks yesterday, which I think is good. All right, so AMC 22, SKYW, Skyworks. I think this is one that we mentioned yesterday because it was just so freaking beaten down. Air Lease, Foot Locker, interestingly enough. Wynn Casinos, you've been talking about that and how yesterday was a pretty good pullback buy day on quite a few stocks. TNA, which is 3 times the Russell 2000, that's kind of janky. Way down there. ALK also way down there. Alaska Airlines, I'm not too sure about those guys, but I think they're a fairly good airline. Please double check that if you're thinking about investing. But let me check my phone, Eli or Ellie. I thought I just posted it. Oh, I gotta hit the send button. I'm sorry. Pick while I'm recording. Yeah, she's not even up. You know what's funny? The way my setup is right now, Ellie saw it. I've got a green screen in here for the kids for the Wild Prats channel. The way I have this thing set up is you can do the weatherman effect. So I could actually come on screen. It kills my little laptop because there's so much processing going on. Because it's trying to shoot out a almost 4K signal and then record an almost 4K signal and a 1080p signal. So it's crunching a lot of numbers, but it's pretty interesting and a little disconcerting at the same time from the person on the green screen. Yeah, so all right, let's go take a look. So it looks like we've come down a little bit. Oh no, I haven't. Was she? Justin. Oh yeah, you're in the UK, Boris Johnson. Yeah, that's interesting. But wasn't he the guy that was like shaking hands and hugging coronavirus people? Isn't that's what I heard on the radio the other day. Yeah, sorry to hear anyone getting sick, but sometimes people get how smart they are. That guy doesn't seem very smart. All right, pulling back here, 2.25%. PLNT's Planet Fitness. This is one of ours up here. You can't see that screen. Crap. Let me do this. Hold on. I'm going to make your screen go black for a second. And I'm going to do something a little unorthodox. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Justin. Hopefully we'll pull through. Don't want anyone to die from any kind of anything like that. Sorry about that. All right, so there's my screen. Right there. And if I can show you, the problem is on 1080 it's just going to be super tiny. It's just going to be, I'm not sure how I can manage that. That's not very manageable from your guys' perspective. All right, I'll go back to the old way. That's kind of janky. Ooh, multi-adapter capability. That's cool. Yeah, I wonder if Boris Johnson's experience is going to make the world take it a little bit more seriously. I think I don't know. Well, he was hugging the people with the virus. I don't remember if he was like Trump was an early virus doubter, basically. I'm not saying that as a good or a bad thing, just as a statement of fact. I believe he was an early virus doubter. From what? Oh, from what I said? Well, you can. You just have to switch your mindset. I switched mine. Yeah. No, but because there's still some people that. And anyway, I'm wondering if it's some of Boris Johnson's supporters were Trump's a germaphobe. He was distancing before it was cool. No, Trump was. Well, he was also shaking hands and stuff while he was telling people to social distance. He got the clue. It took him a minute, but he got the clue. Anyway. All right, so Marcus pulled in a little bit, 2.5. We were at 2.25 a little bit ago. Window capture. Try to get chat up here for everyone. No, that's not it. There we go. And here's the problem for me right now is I don't know how effective I could do this. There we go. That's how I could do this. All right, cool. Is that okay for everyone? That should be relatively okay. I just can't show the other windows really, which I can on my normal desktop. All right, let's so I'm looking at our trading view signal which we had in there. We got Tesla 537. Screw up 5% and zoom down 6% again. That's an interesting one. Again, you get a glimpse of the virus end of the tunnel, and then Zoom starts tanking. Question is, are your candles the size of a banana on a new screen? Well, it's a 4K screen, so actually they're super tiny. It's kind of interesting. Actually, I do have to say I had two monitors for so long, and I have this 43-inch now. Still playing with it. I only had it yesterday for about half of the day. But I gotta say, I kind of like it. Like a lot. I like it a lot. I've had to play with some resolution issues. First, I was only getting 30 frames per second, which you can't work on 30 frames per second. As an audio video guy, film is filmed in 24 frames per second, but from a computer perspective, you got to have at least 60 hertz. And it took me a long time to figure out how to get this thing to 60 hertz. I had to lower the resolution from 4K, so I think I'm near 2K right now, which is still fine. And then I had to actually I had to zoom everything in because everything was just too small. And I wanted to stand further away from the screen. So anyway, now I got like 8 windows up. I can manage. It's pretty awesome. You ever have two monitors and want to put something in the middle and it just looks too weird? Now you can do that. Yeah, that's a good way to put that. So you just put shit everywhere. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 windows open right now. Yeah. And this is just off my laptop. This isn't even anything special yet. And I'm streaming. So not too bad. Lost internet again. I don't know who Michael Burry is. And did he give you anything good? Would be my two statements there. So I'm really liking the NASDAQ action today. I mean, this gap up this morning is pretty good. I'd rather it run during market hours. That would be my preference, but you really can't choose what you get in the markets. But the moves up are very good. I hope we go into one of those because we've already eclipsed the prior highs right here from the lows of this consolidation. So hopefully we just... Oh, big shortcut. Gotcha. And hopefully, since we've eclipsed these highs, we can just keep going. My Bollinger Bands in the NASDAQ are back up towards the top. So we're going to start going up here a little bit. Sometimes when you come out of these bear markets, it moves up and you don't have a lot of opportunities to get in on a pullback. There are no pullbacks for a little while. If we go back here, we'll probably... So here's coming out of 2018. I lied. That's June? There we go. So there's 2018. And so you can see here, we didn't have too many pullbacks. Of course, our days weren't really explosive either. We did have a consolidation, a slight pullback here. And then we kind of stair-stepped higher. Here we had a small pullback. This one has kind of walked its way upward. I'm not sure if that was... I don't think that one was Fed pumped. I think that one was probably some real action. This one may be Fed pumped. But you can see here as you move up, you get small consolidations as you get healthy, and then it doesn't really pull back early on, at least. Early it doesn't pull back. Then you have normal undulations in the market. Yeah, Rob, these days are few and far between, buddy. So just remember them when they happen, because when this happens again, number one, we'll be here to get out. But number two, hopefully the volatility, I mean, it's always amazing when that happens because it doesn't happen every day. But hopefully the volatility will be a little bit less foreign, and you'll be able to, rely on this experience for that whatever event is that happens. So we'll see. But I'm liking the market in this situation. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So, we'll see if things pull back or not, but hard to say. The problem is everybody starts waiting for pullbacks, and then when it never happens, they end up buying higher. That's the problem. If you're not already invested. LK hasn't given a price to that? Really? Oh, freaking LK. I don't know if I've never looked for that. I'm usually not involved in stocks that are like down 70%. I literally, at that day, I wipe them off my list in a lot of circumstances. So, I don't know. That's crazy. The next headline for LK is Board of Directors makes up COO claim that he misstated earnings, and everything's legit. That's gonna be the news. Everything's cool at LK now. Never mind, we want our money back. Whoa. Oh, you guys can't see that. Board of Directors sell handmade clay mug. Here's the news announcement. Visit our new store on Etsy. I love that. Called Lucky Mugs. Visit Lucky Mugs on Etsy. Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. Are they going to sell them in vending machines? They've already got some infrastructure there. They could probably use it. Market 2.75% coming back now after dropping down just a little bit this morning. We can take a look down the actionable list here, or the global list. So many windows, so little time. That's true. ADS, good move this morning, whatever that is. Alliance Data from 312 to 39. Wow, they've sucked well before this coronavirus, and they apparently still suck. Save, I believe this is Spirit Airlines. You can see it in the bottom right there. Pretty nice little gap up this morning. I wonder what oil's doing. I can't show you FinViz without taking 15 minutes to read in my setup here. So I'll just check it out for you. Yeah, Rob, I think Tesla's in its own world. Oil's basically flat, up 1%. So it appears we found a loose equilibrium for oil sitting here around the $20-ish level. $20 being, it's 25 being about recent. Well, since the gap down, your recent median would be about 27 or so. So we're kind of in the equilibrium spot here for oil. Along at 20 would have been awesome. 2.9 for NQ, getting back towards that 3 mark. Yeah, we said we have to redo our actionable list. Standing is getting weird, getting used to this. It'll take a week or so. Yeah, with Tesla. Look at that. It was at 5:20 yesterday. Now it's at 5:30. I told her to buy. My wife wanted to buy Tesla yesterday. I guess I should have let her. I guess you still can. It's not up too bad. Back to 550. We did take a little quick jaunt back down into the fours. Someone said they wanted 430. Got 440. That's pretty close. There you go, Ellie. You gotta have something to hold over your spouse. Otherwise, why are they going to stay with you? There's no need to stay with you if you're not holding something over your partner. Actually up 7% is pretty good today. But yeah, yesterday, I think Tesla's kind of to the beat of its own drummer. I think it has been for a while. There's a lot of forces in play there. Yeah, coming out of this is pretty good. Let's take a look at that Soxel. We were looking at that yesterday, up 8% today. I did get into that 3 times ETF yesterday for Soxel. Hi, Ethan.
Hi.
How you doing? How'd you sleep, bud?
Good.
Good. I'm just over here figuring out my setup while live streaming. How you doing?
Good.
You the floss boss today? Well, yeah, that's right. I know when I was loosely courting Rachel, all I did was hold things I was superior to her, rubbed it right in her face. That's how you get a girl. Like, no, I'm a better drawer than that. No, I told you. And then, yeah, that's right. See, Ellie and I, we're gonna start real dash singles. And no, that's not right. Oh, did that just glitch?
What?
Did the whole screen just glitch, Ethan? Oh, were you looking at it?
Yeah.
Did it glitch?
No.
Oh, okay. I guess it was my old man eyeballs. Yeah, so Soxel, pretty good here, up about 8%. Not too bad. Tesla, good moves here. Net was eyeing a breakout. It looks like it's been a little bit of a sideways consolidation. We talked about this about a week ago, maybe. And so Net doing pretty good, low and slow. If you're looking for longer-term portfolios of individual stocks, this is probably one to have. It's if you don't know about it, I'm pretty sure most everyone here has been here before, but this is Cloudflare, and they provide all kinds of services. They do caching, they do DNS, they do some security stuff, kind of back-end type stuff. You'll never hear Cloudflare unless you're like into web development, probably. SQ looking good again? Well, it's been looking good. I think the whole, in my opinion, the whole market basically looks good. We've been beaten down significantly, so hopefully, we can get back up there. I think that would be awesome. D-Dog having a flat day here. All right, so let's look at, let me bring up my list over here. So Marriott 14%, Amazon 1, Microsoft 1.6, Visa 4. Let's see what Visa looks like. Nice gap on Visa. Very good. Look at yesterday. Nice up volume day on Visa. That looks pretty good. I'm not too mad at that. Adobe, JP Morgan, GM up 10%. Oh, that's interesting. Play's up 20% today. What's that look like? How did that close yesterday? I don't even know. Okay, so a gap up this morning on Play. All right. When we left Aram yesterday talking about Play, it was kind of down here. It looks like just filling a gap. I don't have the after hours session on here anymore.
Daddy.
Yeah, bud. What you got?
How do you go up?
You click and drag.
Right there, if there was like a thing. Right there, it kind of looks like a side of a car. Like the
Oh,
window right there.
with the orange line?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That's kind of the windshield and the roof, huh?
No, like on the side of the car, like on the end side of the car.
Is this the windshield right here, the slanted part? Is that the front?
No, that's the back.
Oh, okay. And this is the front?
Yeah.
I still don't see it.
No, I mean, just like right here, that it looks like a back window of the back
Okay.
side window of a car.
Gotcha. Yeah. I definitely would say it does. China reopening? Well, I don't know. Let's look at Tesla with a vertical line up today. I note on the vertical line up, isn't everything a vertical line up? Because we only have vertical lines in the chart. We don't have horizontal lines in the chart. We should have gotten into Soxhole Thursday or Friday when we first looked at 30% yesterday. I did get a little yesterday morning. Morning, Aram. Yeah, I kind of agree with you there, Rob, on Soxhole. I think everything would have been good to get that day. To be honest, everything would have been really good to get that day. We were talking about how everything pulling back here a little bit, good re-entry points. Just have to, think about what to get into. I'm honestly not that familiar with Soxhole. After looking at it, doing some research on it with you guys in the stream, I think it was yesterday, I felt pretty confident in buying it. I like what it was invested in. It's invested in a lot of big names. Chips are cyclical, so I was reading a little bit into that. They were starting to come back in 2019, and hopefully they'll start to come back also with the coronavirus. But because they were sideways here for a little bit, and then they were starting to ramp up. The option I bought was actually only for it to go to 200, not to go all the way up here to 300. Just an FYI there. Hey, good morning, Aram. I don't know if I said that or not. Hey, guys, hold on a second. All right, I'm back. Yeah, we're just looking at play, Aram. I'm not sure if you ended up getting out of it or reducing position size or whatnot, but having a pretty good day today, at least on the gap up. So that's quite a bit of ways before it tests highs if it's going to do that up here at about 18. All right, I was going down the list here. We had play. We had Planet Fitness, which I think we already looked at. Whoops. Too much space between me and my keyboard. So there's Planet Fitness doing pretty good. 2 gap up days. Look at the 5-minute chart on the bottom right. You have kind of a nice little gap and then a sideways and another gap today. So that bodes pretty well. Yeah, it is a nice and green second day for the market. Hopefully we can sustain this and end up on a positive note today. I think up right here about 2.5% on the futures would be really good. You don't have to run 7% every day. But some nice steady up days, I think, are what the doctor ordered in this scenario, just to get some people FOMOing back into the market. For those that did exit and don't quite, know how to get back in. Got the first part of it right, but you got to get the next part of it right too. As airlines up a bunch today, AL's Air Lease Save is Spirit Airlines. ALK, which is in a little right here, that's Alaskan Airlines. I think that's all. So some of the smaller carriers, it looks like they're hitting up here. I don't have all the airlines up here. Those are just some from a couple cycles ago, actually, on my global watch list. So Wynn Resort, one we've been watching, pretty beaten down towards 50, which is a low going back all the way to 2015. So this could be an interesting pickup. But again, longer term trades for some of these. Let's look at our top names by market cap. I think Microsoft's still number 1. How's that doing? Looks like selling off after a gap this morning, only up 1%. Of course, this one's already come off the lows. Didn't go near as low during the drop. We were able to kind of not have the second and third legs in the drop, it looks like, and consolidate much sooner. Yesterday was a great day. Not a pocket pivot because we've had crazy volumes recently, but a good day nonetheless. Apple. All right, so Apple kind of at a weird little resistance point, which is what that line indicates. This one did have at least one of the other legs lower and a very abrupt bottom here. Trying to break a range. So far we're pulling back, which is probably where the NASDAQ's struggling a little bit here, but So far, okay on the 5-minute. We do have some distribution here. So there's accumulation here at around this, towards the close yesterday at around this 255, 257 level. And it looks like I'm not sure if it's profit taken or what's going on up there, but let's look at Amazon. 2,000. We're above 2,000 today. Oh, look at that. We were knocking at the door at the close yesterday. And yeah, yesterday was a good day. I think that's the takeaway. Yesterday was a good day. Today doesn't matter as much as yesterday does. At least I think if they're starting to rebuy back some positions, I think that's good. And when we don't look at often here, but it's still a pretty big cap, is Facebook. Looks like a higher low on the weekly chart. And still fairly beaten down. Got about 38%, which is bigger than some of our other mega caps. They were only down 20-something%. Facebook's weird, though. I don't know. Facebook's weird. The stuff that they're doing is just weird. It seems like the second you're worth several dozens of billions of dollars, you become a big dick. And that's kind of what Zuckerberg has become lately. Used to be as a nice nerdy kid that stole an idea from some other 20 nerdy kids that were cool, kind of, or just rich. And now it's just become a huge... Nice, Ellie. All right. Cool. Any other names you guys want to look at? Royal Caribbean up 27%. I didn't quite get to the bottom of my list. Wow. That's pretty, that's a lot of percent. Ethan, is 27% a lot of percent?
27%?
27.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of percent. So a lot of percent for Royal Caribbean. And Boeing's only up 8%. And still really beaten down. So I think a couple of... Actually, looking at where Boeing is right now, 160 is a level I was looking at earlier for that lower multi-year base in 2016, 2015. I'm not sure if it goes back further than that or not. And you can probably loosely include 2014 in that. But that's a full round trip. Full round trip for Boeing. So I think our ETFs are doing pretty good, guys. Pretty stable. I mean, sure, you're not, getting crazy percents, but I mean, what's the TQ up today? 5%. That's pretty good. Looks like the market just pulled in under 2% for the day. No. United Airlines 16%, Delta Airlines 12%. Big days. Hopefully by now you guys know what you want, and we're just kind of, observers, or if you have a couple positions. Anyone have some positions left? I've got one position left. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with it. I may wait for an options play, or I may just dump it in TQQQ. How do we know that we are in bull market or the trend got change? Well, Aram, we have a follow-through day last Thursday, so that's your right here. Yes, it's the smallest green candle, but it does have higher volume than the prior day. So that is a follow-through day. And that is your bullish signal in the market. That's your trend change. So technically you are, if you want to call it in a bull market, but yeah, Ellie's probably got the right frame of mind there. It probably takes a while to establish a quote-unquote bull market. A bull market is probably when most people think we're in a bull market. But from my perspective, and I mentioned this yesterday for those of you that didn't hear it, from my perspective, you have a market in correction and you have an uptrend. There's no bull market or bear market or correction, or it's just uptrend or market in correction. because you don't know what you're in until it's too late. And using this method of follow through days and distribution days, excuse me, is really a great way to remove all emotion and everything from the market and just realize you're in an uptrend. It could last for 2 days, 3 weeks, or 3 years, but it's an uptrend, nonetheless. There's no I kind of think the coining of correction and bear market probably isn't a bad thing, but it's a bit misleading because it gets people more caught on the labels than it does the actual movements of the market. Like, oh, is this a correction or a bear market? I think that's, from one perspective, you can never know the answer to that question ahead of time. You really can't. You can have a feeling for it. Maybe this particular, coronavirus pandemic bear market, you could have said, yeah, we're going to go into a bear market. I can give you that one. But in 2018, who the hell knew we were going to go from a correction back into crazy bear market territory of 25%? I don't think anybody knew that. And the people that say that have said that every 3 weeks for the past 3 years. So, NQ, there's an important distinction on here around it /NQ. That is the futures of the NASDAQ. You asked about futures. That is the NASDAQ futures. So /NQ would be NASDAQ. I already forgot. Oh, /ES. If you hear the term the ES, that's the S&P futures. I don't know why it's called the ES, but it is. You're up, Rob? That's awesome, dude. What are you doing, Ethan? You trying to hack into my iPad?
Yeah.
Ah. There you go, bud. Yeah, the problem is you can't really hack an iPad. He's just trying to lock me out of it. Oh, okay. Gotcha. You're 90% cash and 75% cash in the other one? What? How are you 90% cash? We had a follow-through day. It's kind of a, cheap little follow-through day, but after yesterday, I would think after yesterday you're doing okay. At least investing. You should be at least half invested, in my opinion. Oh, there you go, Rob. Okay, much better. I was going to say, you're here every day. All right, so the standing thing for me gets a little old. I may stand for bits at a time. I did get a little mobile standing desk. That desk, it's just a small laptop stand, but it is mobile, and I can move it up and down, so I can sit down and use it too, which is pretty dope. It was almost back all in March. Yeah, well, March was at least later March was a pretty good month. Aram's fully invested. Very nice. Yeah, Michael mentions gaming stocks getting crushed. I was actually going to type a symbol and I realized I don't really know what gaming. I know Take-Two Interactive. Oops, sorry, wrong window. Yeah, getting beaten down a little bit today. I don't think the past little bit gaming stocks have been doing very good. I think there's a lot of freemium stuff going on in terms of gaming, and I think these larger companies are trying to adjust, and it's hurting their bottom lines or something. But if they can figure it out, they'll be okay. You bought 10 LKS? Why are you playing in the dumpsters? Why are you playing in dumpster fires, Rob? This is an anti-dumpster fire channel. Part of my job is to get you guys from stop playing in dumpster fires. Ellie's almost there. Almost. Just a few more dumpster fires for him, probably. He'll be okay. All right, I got to adjust this. This is untenable here. All right, 15% bottom. Bam. Had to warm up your hands with some LK? What does that even mean? That's pretty funny, though. I thought you were stopped out of it. Yeah, I remember I talked to you a while ago about traders. Traders generally, and this is my experience too. I think you go exploring the landscape. Think of yourself. Oh, dumpster fire. There you go. Sorry about that. I'm a little slow this morning. Traders are like children. You're like little toddlers. You go, you touch everything, you look at everything, and it makes perfect sense. You have to check out your environment. Yeah, but you're now going to lose 90%. So, yeah, new traders are like toddlers. You have to go out, you have to touch everything, you've got to break stuff and then you have to go into your teens and 20s where you do a bunch of stupid stuff, get into a bunch of debt. Then you realize, oh, this is how I should have done stuff my entire life. It kind of really is the path of a trader in a lot of circumstances. Do you think may or may not we have seen the bottom again or lower? We got our follow through day, Aram. I do loosely think we've seen the bottom. And a little bit more than loosely, to be honest with you. We've come up significantly, and it would be really brutal if we were to go lower from here. At least from me. I mean, we'll see what plays out and what happens with the virus and stuff like that, but I think everyone kind of knows what's going on at this stage of the game. I think a lot of the information is already out there, and I think the markets have assimilated that information, and the result is we've been rallying for the past 2 weeks here. So I think that's what's going on. I will say this. The market usually knows more than we do. The market is the assimilation of everything, and it generally gets things right. Now, if you go back to 2000, which we did this a while ago, and we'll do this again today because it looks like today we're pulling back 1.5%. Let's go back to the Qs. Yeah, 100%, Justin. 100%. The economy's taken a big hit. Absolutely. I don't... Yeah, I don't think there's another way to put it, Justin. I'm not trying to say that the market hasn't taken a big hit. I'm saying that the market is forward-looking, and I've said this the entire time. The market looks forward, whatever time frame is. I don't know. People say 12 months, people say 2 years, people say 5 years. Just depends on their firm, more than likely. But the market is forward-looking, and if it can see a path out, then it starts to rally again. Once it knows its money is safe, it starts to rally again. And this is the whole herd doing it. This is all of humanity. This is all of humanity here, which is also why it's a dumpster fire. But this is all of humanity kind of making decisions. And it does get it wrong from time to time. So you go back to 2008, which probably is likely. So, I mean, worst case scenarios we're in this, right? Actually, you know what? I can't share my screen. We have this marked out on our... This is where this is coming back to bite me in the butt. So, yeah, we have our events marked up. I'm just going to kind of loosely tell them to you as I get to my other chart ready over here. A lot of dragging to do because we're going back. There we go. Okay, so if you guys remember a while back, we went ahead and marked up the chart for the market. So that's loosely what we have there. So the Federal Reserve acted to stop the housing bust. Because if you remember, it actually took it a while to kind of do its work, for the market to really kind of move lower. Sorry, I'm still trying to get my screen set up here so I can annotate for you guys appropriately. Okay, so right about here is when the Fed started doing some bailouts to try to stop the housing bust. And so the market likely saw some stuff coming, and which is why we end up with this initial drop here, right? Now keep in mind this is also a weekly chart. Let me go to the weekly on my other chart. All right, so the Fed attempts to stop the housing bust on this first week of the year right here. So the Fed attempts to stop the housing bust. Keep in mind, market's forward looking. Let's try to think like the market. Let's try to think like the market thinks. Okay, let's think forward. A bunch of houses going into foreclosure. What's going to happen? We're going to end up with some unemployment. We're definitely going to go into a recession. We're likely going to see this, that, and the other thing, right? Now, at that time, I don't think anyone foresaw Lehman Brothers collapsing, which led into the rest of the financial crisis. Initially, this was just a correction. And I don't remember at the particular time being of the mindset that the whole banking system was going to collapse. I think there was some general chatter regarding banks and stuff, but I think it was just rumor and innuendo, probably a little bit like our initial coronavirus, right? We had basically 2 months of coronavirus where the market didn't care. Literally, it didn't react. We went up like 5% or something like that. Very similar, probably like to up here or even in here. I don't remember the exact sequence of events to get that specific, but when Lehman Brothers started hitting, when the banks started having issues, wherever it was in here, this is when, right here is where the government nationalized Fannie and Freddie, and you can see the panic was already starting. It's after this candle. It's right here. Let's see if I can zoom in there for everyone. So this candle, the one after this big drop, this drop had already occurred, and then this is probably when the news hits right here, and then you can see the general collapse, and then Fannie and Freddie get nationalized as the housing crisis gets worse and it doesn't recover. Keep in mind, this has already taken place over the course of 8 months, 9 months. So this has been a long time coming. So there's been some writing on the wall already. And then Lehman Brothers happens. The next candle. So this candle right here is Fannie and Freddie nationalizing. This is Lehman Brothers. And that's when I think people start to realize that the whole general banking system is under a tremendous amount of pressure. And then you see the next leg. So this was this wasn't a singular event. This isn't like a coronavirus pandemic. This is over the course of 6 to 9 months, things starting to fall apart. Now, at this particular moment in time, I'm really not of the mindset. I mean, we may be here, right? We have dropped. We've had our initial correction. We're slowly moving our way back up. So maybe we're in this candle. We're going back to June 31st of whatever it is, 2008. That's pretty much where we are right now. The question is, in 3-4 months from now, we may get this undulation. The question is, after that, do we go lower or do we go higher? That's the question. And is there another shoe to drop that is unforeseen? Are banks going to fail? Is the housing market going to fall apart again? Is something else going to fall apart again? That's the type of analysis. So this is like a double wave. This is the housing market stalling out, rolling over into banks completely falling apart. Is the UK Prime Minister going to fall apart? I don't know. I hope the guy gets better. I don't want anyone to get hurt or anything. I hope the guy gets better. Yeah. Yeah, I made the mistake of playing with that earlier. I mean, odds are he'll be fine. I'm not sure what the rate is in the UK. They got a good healthcare system, so he'll be fine. He's got the bet. Yeah, they're not taking any chances with a guy like that. If he does pass away from this, there's nothing they could do. That's one patient they're not ignoring. So it was just is what it is if he does. But he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine. Even though he got it in a stupid way, let's just be honest. Just keep it real. But I think he'll be fine. I hope his symptoms don't get worse. He said he's not on a ventilator. I can't imagine being on a ventilator is a good thing. Like, think about that. I really can't imagine that as a pleasant experience. So, watch the gold. Something is coming. I don't know how gold it did in 2008. We can check it out. Let's go to the general GLD. Let's see if it'll pop me back. So there's 2008. I mean, it actually kind of went down with the rest of the market too. There's a funny thing about financial markets, and that's something with cryptocurrency we just experienced too. And people have a hard time understanding that. Hopefully they understand that in the Real Crypto Power Hour, is that when the market's liquidity hunting, I don't care what it is, they're selling the grandma to get liquidity because they need liquidity. They don't need grandmas today. It's about what they need today when they have to do those types of things. So, yeah. Cool. VIX higher? What is the VIX at? How's the VIX higher? Oh, because we're still... look at that. These 3 times ETFs suck. The VIX was at 85. Now it's at 45. And if I go back... Yeah, this is garbage, man. I'm looking at TradingView on my VIX on the 3 times ETF, and it's barely moved, let alone bounced. Stupid. But yeah, you look at this VIX, it's down. It's pulled in like almost 50%. I don't understand it. How these ETFs even try to do anything. Yeah, that's retarded. So there's the VIX in 2008. So it had an undulation down, back up, and then it just kept going down from there. Oh, there's 2008. Is that where I was earlier? You see, it took a long time for this to get back down towards 10. It was down towards... It looks like when we get super, super low volatility, that's when we tend to fall apart. Just use the VIX as your signal from now on. Single digit VIX equals just start shorting stuff. Because in a couple of years... Now, granted, the market went up between those 2 years pretty substantially, so never mind. That's a bad strategy. Oh. Nice try, Ethan. I think I'm going to sit down. I'm sitting down. I do have to say, I was at my my supply house the other day picking up the mount for my monitor, which is pretty dope. Yeah, it's super cool. It moves up, down, left, right, swings out. I can push it flat or flat-ish against the wall, right? And then I was there with my mask on, posted a picture of that in Slack too. And they had their doors open, and they had desks just inside the doors, so you couldn't go inside of the shop. And they had a bunch of cables, strewn up to their cash registers and their computers. And I'm sitting there looking. This is a low voltage shop. If you guys don't know what low voltage is, it's the network, it's TVs, it's speakers, it's anything you actually plug into the high voltage is the low voltage. And so I'm like, I feel sorry. I feel pretty bad for companies that don't do low voltage and want to do what you're doing, because they're like, how do I make an Ethernet cable? Anyway, that's funny for me, probably not for you, but it's hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. All right. I can still see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 windows, and I have a little bit of desktop space left. That's pretty cool. I gotta say, guys, I'm probably sitting 3 feet away from my 4K monitor. Maybe 4, maybe 5. I don't know. Get a tape measure. I don't have a tape measure in here. Oh, I took it back to the garage. It's pretty dope. I do say, if you guys have a dedicated office space, get yourself a 4K monitor. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. All right, and now we're into the market. We're up 1.25%. Let's take a look at the Qs. And so far, distribution day, although we're still up, but only up 1% on the Qs, 1.36 on the NASDAQ. I do want you to keep in mind that the Qs and the NQ are different. The futures market trades like 23 and a half hours a day, 6 days a week. And the QQQ is general market hours, which is 6 hours a day, 6.5 hours a day, 5 days a week. UFC is going to be going ahead in a secret location for U.S. fights. And on a private island for the rest of the world, of course, no audience. That seems a lot like a movie and slightly unnecessary. Although pay-per-view does make a really good portion of their revenue, so if they don't have to do anything with venues, it'll probably be percentage-wise a much more profitable venture. They should just do it in Dana's house. They should just do it in Dana's house and just put cameras everywhere. Just do the entire room with cameras all the way around, 8K cameras, like super high speed, 120 hertz, 8K cameras, so they can do like full round. It'd be awesome. All right, so it looks like the Qs have filled the gap loosely. At least most of the gap. That's a good portion of the gap. There's a slight gap left, but you can call that a gap fill. Yeah, on the daily chart, you pretty much wouldn't call that a gap. So I guess we can go back up if we want to. Only up 1.37% after yesterday, which was really a tremendous day. Really was a tremendous day for the markets. This monitor setup's just awesome. The cool thing about this too is when I actually opened my code editor last night, and I have half of my screen as a code editor, which is super cool. Super, super cool. KSS. What's KSS? Can't wait till I get my desktop up because this thing is a little bit laggy. Oh, it's Kohl's. Yeah, this thing's pretty beaten down. Kohl's has been doing, look at the weekly chart. It's been really just, look at that. A range between 80 and it looks, in 2008 it was down to, it looks like 25. It topped at 80 again, and that's down at 10. That's crazy. That shows you how hard retail's been struggling with Amazon. Really getting its butt kicked. Just really, really difficult. Man, this EXIV position is kicking me in the butt. I'm down 3% on it. It hasn't budged. What is this thing? This isn't 3 times anything. I mean, it still has a crazy, crazy reward on it, but that's a tough one. Excuse me. This is great. I like this. I just got to figure out how to work with it a little bit better. This is so cool. The funny thing about a television, though, is the very edges of the screen, at least on this LED. If you have an OLED, it may be different because each pixel is lit. The very edge of the screen has a slight, it goes gray. For the last about 1/8 inch, maybe 3/16 of an inch, it has a gray hue to it, so it's kind of weird. Oh, yeah, I guess I could do that, Rob, but I can tell you right now they don't correlate for crap. So look, look at the EXIV, because actually this doesn't correlate to the VIX at all. This correlates to the FEZ. And if you look at that, it doesn't correlate very well at all. From the bottom, this thing is up 25%, but it's a play on volatility, so it's an interesting dynamic. But even the U.S. VIX isn't. It's just so flat down here. I don't know the mechanics behind this, but we're just stuck. 43%. We're up as high as 102. Maybe it works, and maybe it works. I don't know. I've never invested in these before. I got to be honest with you. These ETFs. I got screwed on my SQQQ long, which is short the market. I got screwed out of 30% there. That really pissed me off. That's the most annoyed I've been in a position in a super long time. And that wasn't even something I did. That's actually something that was not my fault, other than not completely 100% understanding how the SQQQ works, which I guess could be my fault. But this thing, I really don't have any major. It only goes back a couple of years. There's no major data on it, so. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I know, Rob. I know. I'm not even sure where the disconnect happened. I just know that there was a disconnect. And I got the short end of that stick. And I'm pissed about it. Because I was in the right position. Damn it. Pays. 26% today. Woo. Rob, didn't you mention that earlier? I think Rob mentioned it. I wonder how high I can make this. And it'll probably mess with you guys, though. Oh, I can see all kinds of chat. Dude, this is so much fun. Is a screw with you guys? A little bit. Yeah, you guys are here. And I can see an additional several comments. We talked about pays. Wow, that's really good. Can't say I called a 30% run in pays today, but actually, I think yesterday I said that it was already down before the market, so forget about it. So my bad. Can't get every call right. But that's good action yesterday, too. And then this morning, just up, just gone. I guess it was too good of a deal to pass up for a lot of these hedge funds and institutions and such. And you can argue it probably was. It was already down substantially from 18, getting all the way down to 3. That's pretty crazy. I'll make this smaller so you guys can see it again. There we go. Although I could probably make it slightly bigger. You guys don't necessarily have to see what I'm chatting. Right there. Whoops, a little higher. There we go. Ooh, you know something I could do is go this way maybe. Let me try this. Oh, no, it still makes the top the top. But I could move the window. That's what I could do. There we go. Oh, it's going to be so hard to set up every day. I'm not sure if that's going to work, but I have chat full screen, so I can see a lot of chat. On TradingView, oh my gosh. I can see my entire top 20 crypto list. It's nuts. It's crazy. Yeah, this is so much fun. So actually, the TV I bought was only $320, and I found a bunch used on OfferUp, but everyone there is a trailer trash of non-communication, so I never could actually buy one. I even did the alerts and I couldn't get the damn alerts in time. Why is people freaking messaging me at midnight? A little strange that more or less crypto is mirroring stocks. Yes, it is a little strange. Yeah, it's a little bit weird. I do have to admit that. I can't say. Although from that after saying that, we did talk about the liquidity hunting and stuff like that, and I think that's 100% real. 100% real. So, I'm actually looking at crypto right now. What I think happened, and I think I've been saying this, is that we liquidity hunted, and then we've gone back to normal crypto once the banks loosened the regulation on liquidity and liquidity requirements. So I think that's really what's going on, is we're kind of back to crypto slowly getting back to normal. Yeah. But actually, I think crypto's leading stocks. If you look at it, I think that's what it is. Because we actually dumped. We dumped on Sunday. We dumped on Sunday before the markets opened and had a bad day. And then we started rallying through on March 20th. Which was the day before the market did. So your cryptos are actually leading the market up. It's interesting. And yesterday, crypto had a massive day. And I think stocks I think, led crypto in that regard. More chat on extreme streams. Yeah, I missed a couple extreme streams. I probably could have done a few, but yeah, my setup's been in flux. I guess that's just an excuse. Yeah. All right, guys. I think I'm going to get out of here. Yeah, I somehow muted the mic. Thanks, Rob. To answer Justin's question, I'm not sure if you heard me before. I am basically a full YouTuber trader. Yeah.
With the sugar mama.
With a sugar mama? Hi, babe.
Hey.
You like the setup?
No, I have nowhere to sit.
Huh?
I have nowhere to sit.
Oh, well, you never come in here. This is the first time I've ever come in here and actually tried to sit. I think you sat because you can't sit. You could sit over there, but I got a bunch of crap on that.
Yep.
It's in dis. Well, that's been here the whole time. Well, not the whole time, but the past couple of months. You could have sat in that.
I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Without me knowing?
I wasn't. You were here.
When did you sit in the chair?
When I moved it in here.
Just that one time?
No, but that was one. I can give you an example of.
Well, I mean, this setup with the screens is actually really cool.
Well, as long as you like it.
No, you'd like it too. I mean, it's.
Well, it doesn't matter what I like because it's not my setup.
No, I'm saying you would like it. You would like it.
All right.
Look at all the stuff I can fit on here.
So what are your
It's crazy.
See?
Right now they're just seeing this and this.
Okay.
So here's OBS. They're seeing that.
Oh.
So yeah, they see those windows only, which kind of sucks because I want them to see this window, which is my general browser, but I can't. I'm gonna have to work with it a little more. You see how this extends up here? They can't see that top, bottom. They can't see that, so I can move this blue around for them. They're at my mercy. You see all chat. So now all they're seeing is that. They're at my mercy.
Hey, Ethan.
Okay, now I can't get it back. I can't get it back. I screwed myself. There we go. Oh, that's hard to manage a little bit there. Anyway, you get the gist. You get the gist of it. Oh, thanks, Rob. Rob watched the garden video, babe.
Oh,
He said good work.
thanks.
Yeah, Rachel does all the editing on the Wild Prat stuff, man. She likes it and she's good at it. So works out pretty nice there. Market 1% right now. So we've been selling off most of the day here today, which kind of makes sense after a gap up like that. And such a tremendous day yesterday. They're taking some profits off of the table. That makes a lot of sense. So we'll see what happens. I think yesterday, if we put that in the bag, if we can kind of have some lower volume, calmer days, I think that would be really good. And that would get us back into more healthy territory. So where we're not, going up and down so much. We've been pretty good so far. We haven't really dropped down in the markets that much. A little bit of feedback from you guys. Am I really echoey? Because I'm basically sitting in the middle of a room that is pretty echoey. So just kind of curious your guys' perspective on the audio. I'm gonna put up some sound panels eventually. That'll be a project to do probably after we finish cabinet doors and such. I sound normal / good? Well, that's all the microphone then, because it's pretty echoey in here.
At least we don't have tile floors.
I was thinking of stripping the carpet out, but yeah, I don't think I will. Yeah, that'd be bad. Let's put rugs back down anyways. CCL looks like the market, I don't know about coming in a little bit more, but crypto's stalled out here after yesterday's good action too.
Nay.
You do miss Chipmunk, Randy? I'll have to show Rachel that video. Yeah. I did go back and listen to that. It's like, you're bothering me too much.
I was letting him sit in my lap and everything.
I don't know.
He was ready to head out before I grabbed him anyway.
Yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to bounce. Seems louder? Okay. Chipmunk was the best stream so far. I'm glad to know you guys hate my content so much. Fuck all of you. You're only here for You're here to make sure You're only here for when my USB cable glitches. It's huffing helium. No, I wouldn't huff helium. That is a limited resource. It's actually going away. Oh, Justin's going to thumbs down the video. Well, since no one thumbs up the video, who cares anyway? I don't care. I don't do it, Justin. Fucking thumbs down it. I don't care. There's only 6 people here. We yell at each other all the time. It's okay.
What emoji is that? I can't see.
It's a smiley face.
Okay.
Yeah. Rachel has never sat in on a stream with me. I think ever. Have you ever sat in on a stream with me?
No.
No, she's never. So I think I yelled just because she's in the room. But I do yell at them from time to time.
I'm sure.
Yesterday I told them their opinions mean nothing. Actually, we talked about it substantially for I'd say a good 5 to 10 minutes. And I had a good amount. 13 people's pretty good for the stream. And yeah. I looked at it and said, all 13 of you, your opinions mean nothing. They suck. Yeah, I did. Oh, twice. Right there. I told us this twice. It still hurts. It should hurt, and you should remember it. Yeah. Wow, Carnival Cruise Line's taking a little dump right there. I said you were dumb. I don't think I called you dumb. No, actually, I said you're not dumb. I said you should find a dumb person to trade for you is what I said. You should give a dumb person a set of rules and then make them trade for you because you guys are too smart. Which is what it is. I still sound like Ellie's parents. Ellie's like, you sound like my parents. You said my opinion doesn't matter. That's funny. Actually, what another thing I told them today, guys, please share this video with everyone that you know so they can subscribe to this channel. As I berate you. Real feel like crap about yourself should be the name of this channel. What was the thing I was saying? What did I tell them today? Damn it, I told you guys something today too. What was it? What did I tell them today?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. You know, I think I'm the cause of the world's problems. If you guys are having self-esteem issues, it's probably my fault. I apologize. Yeah, I'm sorry. I forget what I was saying today. But yeah, I said something today, but I thought it was pretty funny. Oh, I know what it was. I was talking about how newer traders are like children. They run around and touch stuff and break stuff and play with stuff they shouldn't play with.
Okay.
Yeah. That's children, right? If you put a bunch of stuff on the floor and two of them are falling knives, the kids are probably going to go for the falling knives, right? You're like, ooh, what's that? It's movement. It's shiny. Bam. That's Rob. Rob is like a newborn child catching falling knives. Here, this is what Rob bought today. Wow, I'm realizing how much of an asshole I actually can be. This is what Rob was trying to buy. This is called a falling knife.
Oh. Yeah, that's not a good idea.
You can report me for bullying. Go for it. Go ahead. There's a what is it called? Damn it, my jokes are falling flat today.
It's because I'm distracting you.
Maybe. The suggestion box. I have a suggestion box. It's probably in the corner of your room. It's black and circular. Why don't you go ahead and write it down, crumple it up, and throw it in that suggestion box. Trash can.
Got it.
Okay, it's trash can. But yeah, actually, Ellie, if you could let Rob borrow your knife catching gloves, he would really appreciate it. So like a year and a half ago, Ellie was in Slack, and as the crypto market was tanking, he posted a picture of these like chain mesh gloves. He's like, here, while you're catching falling knives, use these. It was the best. That was the best thing. That cemented Ellie in my mind as a I say sarcasm is a higher form of communication. Mm-hmm. That cemented Ellie in my mind is that. So, very good. Very, very good. 0.75 for the NQs. We're selling off here. Selling off here a little bit. Wonder how our volume's pretty high today. I don't like that. Rob doesn't have hands anymore. He needs knife catching shoes. Love it.
I'm probably wiping off your whiteboard.
You're wiping off the kids' painting. Yeah, the Q's actually selling off relatively in high volume this morning, actually. Yeah, that's actually a little higher volume than I would like to see up here. I talked about smaller, but that's not smaller selling. So there is definitely a little bit more selling pressure this morning than usual. Look yesterday on our 5-minute chart. And it's, yeah, we're about double volume to yesterday. Michael's in the SQQQ. Well, there you go. You can make no money in that very nicely as the market falls. Yeah, SQQ seeing some influx of volume today too. That's interesting. That's probably not gonna be retailers. I don't know, but maybe we have a leg lower. Maybe we've local topped at the top of our Bollinger Bands on the NQs. That's possible.
A lot of downflow going on here.
I know.
I'm such a nerd when it comes to stocks. I'm saying downflow.
Downflow. Yeah. Look at this. There's downflow here and some upflow. There's a lot of sideways flow going on over here. Is this a heavy flow day? That's my... Yeah, freaking SQQQ. Look at that. How's SQQQ down lower than the lows? I don't understand this instrument. Seriously, this thing is horrible. I don't understand that. So this SQQQ babe should correlate with, it's the inverse of this, in theory. So these lows right here are these highs, and this high right here should be that high. And look how, look, we've already come all the way the hell, all the way down here. We've already eclipsed that. But look up here. Crazy. We're not even close to it. I don't know what to make of that. Yeah, fuck the SQQQ. Stupid.
Good morning, Poozy.
The whole family's in, guys. You guys are getting... This is rare for any real channel. One family in the same room. This doesn't happen. This happens Christmas and New Year's.
We're missing someone.
Yeah, well, even for you guys to be in the same room at any time, really. Yeah, I don't know why the SQQQ did that. I really have no idea. That is crazy. Why would that be lower than the high in the market? Someone figure that out. Ellie, you're not doing anything today. Why don't you tackle that? Wow. Love you, babe. Are you making pancakes? That's great.
Sure.
Oh. I don't think she loves me enough today. Maybe I should hold something over her head, Ellie. What do you think? Did you like that move? That was an awesome move on my part. Ooh, laptop screaming. All right, guys. ZM down again. You think the hacking killed it? Slow clapping. ZM down again. You think the hacking killed it? I don't know what killed it. I think that could be part of it. I think there's probably quite a few things in Zoom. I think the fact that not everyone's going to keep it. They probably just... I don't know if they have a lot of subscribers due to it. I don't know how much information we got during the pandemic about Zoom subscribership, to be honest with you. I don't know if they lock you in. If they locked you into like a year contract or something, they're probably a month-to-month company, though. Let me go look. Let me check it out. Okay, so plans and pricing. So small teams, $14.99 per month per host. Okay. Up to 100 participants. So it's month to month. Hacking, surveillance, and overbought. What surveillance are you talking about? What day is today? Is it Tuesday? I don't know. Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? It's Tuesday. All right, supposed to get my CPU cooler on Thursday, so I'm waiting on that. So for $15 a month, it doesn't look like it's a a yearly thing, so that may just get a month or two boost. Zoom servers in China. That'd be some bad latency. Well, I'm going to Zoom with my colleague in the building over, and it's going to go through China. 40-minute limit on group meetings. So that they have a free host up to 100 participants, unlimited one-to-one meetings. I mean, they got a pretty decent free tier. And if the whole world's using it, they probably just have a lot of AWS usage because they're probably hosted on AWS. Who the hell isn't hosted on AWS these days? Where is Zoom hosted? Remote conferencing service, headquartered in San Jose. No, I want to know where their servers are. Zoom admits calls got mistakenly routed through China. That's the first thing when I type in where are Zoom servers. That's pretty funny. That's hilarious. Wow, Rob, seriously? Is that a thing? That's crazy. But where are Zoom servers? Are they AWS hosted? I don't know. Doesn't say. All right, guys, I'm going to bounce this time for real. I'm going to get out of here. Let's go check on the market. What do we got? Market 0.87. It started off the day 2.5. So we've come in fairly substantially. Pays is still up pretty good. We still have a lot of stocks up, decent amounts, it looks like. But overall, we've pulled in a little bit here. I don't think that's anything too bad. Quite a few red today. I'll try to figure out a way where I can get you guys on the desktop. Maybe I just switch my desktop over to 1080p and just have a massive 1080p screen in front of me, and that way we can manage things a little bit better for you guys and seeing all the stuff I'm looking at. So I used a mask yesterday, so am I screwed? Got the coronavirus from my mask. Ugh. From your mask. Yeah, I get it, Rob. I was trying not... Well, actually, some of the time I was just sitting here talking with you guys. I wasn't even moving stuff on the screen, but I realized you guys are watching the screen that doesn't move, which sucks. So my apologies for that. But yeah, I'll try to... I think tomorrow maybe I'll switch to 1080p. I got a lot of testing out to do with this thing today. So quite a bit of stuff going on. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Stay safe out there. And don't use masks. You're going to get sick. Okay.